Guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Modupe, the creative director of our fashion academy. In today's tutorial, we will be talking about the basic sketch pattern drafting. Kindly pay attention and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Tutorial. I will be taking us on how to draft a basic sketch pattern. The following are the tools needed. 1. You need your pattern line and your pattern curve. This is your pattern roller and this is your pattern curve. We can use this when we want to do the hip curve, and this one when we want to roll. You need your scissors for cutting, you need your tape rule for your measurements, you need your pencil or your marker. But in this tutorial, I personally prefer using pencil in case you want to erase anything, but in this particular tutorial I would like to use biro to make it more bold so that you guys can see. You need your eraser and you will also need your pattern paper. So instead of your pattern paper, you can also decide to use your brown paper in case you did not see one. Your brown paper too can be a substitute in this case. And the measurements to be used for this particular tutorial: my skirt length is 21, the waist to hip line is 8.5, and the waist circumference is 32, the hip is 40. So the only thing you just have to do, divide 32 by 2, which is 16, and divide 40 by 2, which is 20. I will explain better when we get to the pattern. But note that on this particular pattern, I divided the pattern into two. One is representing the front side and the other one is representing the back side. And another thing I want you to notice is the line at the top margin. This is just to know where to start from. I just want to get a straight line. That was why I did this. So let's go. When you want to cut a skirt like this, the first thing you do is you work with the largest part of the body, which is the hip. The hip is the largest part in this particular measurement, and my hip here is 40. You divide your 40 by 2, which will give you 20. So on this pattern, 20 divided by 2 is 10. Just put the tape rule on the pattern, then place your 10 at the middle margin to get your 20. Do that carefully. And the skirt length is 21. So from the top margin, just measure your 21. Take your ruler to draw a straight line. Especially the last one. Same thing applicable to this side. Center back, and this is my center front. So the next thing is make sure your waist to hip, which is 8.5, at the center front, and the same thing applicable to the back. Sorry, 8.5. Then take your ruler to join this, to join the line. What we are going to do now is divide your waist into 2, which is 32 divided by 2 is 16. Your 16 into 2 again, which is 8. From the edge here, 8. From the other edge, mark your 8 Then you take your hip curve and do your curve from the waist down to the hip. And you curve. So to bring the fitting in the skirt, the next thing is to put your darts. So you know, at a time, in a situation whereby this is the down part of the dress and you want to put the up part, you know, the only thing we have to do, we have to put our darts. Apart from the darts too, you need the dart line, which is in which we use our bust point to do that. So in this particular skirt now, my bust point is 8. So from the center front, sorry, this is the center back. Okay, let me do this first. To get my allowance for the back, just use one. At times I like using 1 inch. Okay, sorry, my space is small. You can use 1 inch, but for this particular space, at least let me manage what I have here. Let's use ½ inch to do that. Let me use ½ inch. Just let's manage what we have, because I need to do the slits and there's no space to do that. So let's manage. But you can, if you have a bigger space, just use 1 inch. 1 inch is better. Just use 1 inch. This is the center back. So, and this is our allowance. So you can decide to use 1 inch for this particular pattern, because my table is very small, don't mind me. I decided to use ½ inch to do that. So so the box point is 8 divided by 2, which is 4. So for the back, I'll use 4 by 5 as the length of my darts. 5 inches fine. 4 by 5. Or you can even decide to drag it down. You draw your straight line down. Measure your ½ inch. ½ inch from here. ½ inch from here. Then you follow to the 5 inch. So ½ inch here, ½ inch here. You just draw it down to the 5 inch. So this is for center back. Then for the center front, you measure your 4 inch. The same thing applicable. Your 4 inch. Draw a straight line. Your ½ inch, your ½ inch. In this case, it will be 6 inch, not 5. At the front, it's always 6 inch. I prefer using 6 inch, which is your dart. Same thing to the other side. That's for your dart. So in case you want it as a pencil skirt, as a pencil shaped skirt, this is what you do. At the down part, just measure 2 from here. The other side, so measure your 2. And come, this is the hip line. Just come down by 1 inch and take your ruler to draw the margin. The same thing applicable to the other side. So when you, after the sewing, you get your penciled shape skirt. So for my slits, actually this is what I do. Anytime I want to take a client measurement, I do ask, where do you want your slit to start from, where do you want it to hang, so they will tell you what they want. But for this particular skirt, since my skirt length is 21, let's just assume I'll be starting my slit from length 15. Don't mind me, my space is very, very small. So if you have a bigger pattern, you can just make yours 1 inch too, but in my case I'll make mine 1/2 inch. This particular part of it is for my slits. So this is my slits. Please make sure yours is 1 inch, and this part too, the allowance for the zip, make sure this place too is 1 inch. Please, 1 inch is fine. When you see a pencil skirt or a straight skirt, any type of skirt, at the front of it, I mean the front part, there's this part, this particular U shape at the edge of it. There's this particular U shape. Even if you're adding your band, there is this U small shape. So this is the way you go about it. At the center front, just come down by 1/2 inch, and at the waist, this particular edge, just come up by 1/2 inch. Then try, you can also use a free hand at this particular place. You can use a free hand. So there's this particular, you can also use your free hand or your cuff. Let me use my free hand. So just draw this down a bit. Draw it. Draw. That's for that. Then at the back, in case we want to join it, one should not be longer than one. So the same thing applicable to this side. Your 1/2 inch, bring out your 1/2 inch and draw. Just drag this to this and make a straight line this time around. Make a straight line. And so the next thing to do is with this, I guess we are done. Our skirt is ready. Our pattern skirt is ready. The next thing we're going to do is take your scissors and bring out the follow. So the next thing is to cut our pattern. See, all these parts are the parts to be cut out. We don't need this, we don't need this. Cut gently. Use your back, and for the front part, because you be very careful when you're cutting it. Yes, that is so. In this case, in case you want to cut out your dress now, your skirt rather, just fold your fabric into two. For the front part now, this is the way to go about it. I don't have the fabric here, I'll just make a sample, but fold your fabric into two. So this is what you will do. After cutting this thing out, the pattern out, just fold your clothes, place this on it. You can, when you're cutting, or before cutting, add like 1 inch. So all this your cut, like your curve, add 1 inch, add 1 inch, add 1 inch. You can even use your shock when you're doing it before tracing it out, so that in case you want to join it, you'll be having your allowance in the. So in the next tutorial, I'll be teaching you guys on how to trace your pattern on your clothes, the inches to add before cutting it out, and how to sew it. So have a wonderful day ahead.